You know how everyone talks about saving the planet by buying less stuff? Well, it turns out the same logic can seriously boost up your bank account. Forget about endless shopping haul. If you're smart about what you buy and how you manage your closet, you can free up more cash to invest or pay off your debt faster. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to combine sustainable fashion with personal finance so you're not just making eco-friendly choices, but you're also building wealth in the process. Now, we're going to jump straight into it. The 4 key step process to get your finances and your wardrobe working together. Whether you're aiming to grow your investment account, obliterate your debt, or even spending smarter, keep watching because this approach has something for everyone. Number 1, financial goal setting, reinvesting your savings. I used to walk into a store for just one thing and walk right back out with an armful of sales items that I thought I really needed. It was kind of embarrassing to see my credit card statement by the end of the month, especially when I knew that money could have gone towards something like my emergency fund or paying off my student loan. And that's when it clicked. If I was serious about saving and investing, I had to be more intentional about my purchases. And this is where I decided to turn things around. Every time I save money by thrifting or avoid unnecessary purchases, I shuffle that exact amount into an investment or saving account. Think of it like this, right? If I almost spent, let's say, $50 on a pair of shoes that I didn't really need, I'd hop into my bank account app and toss $50 into my brokerage account or towards a debt instead. It felt a little weird at first, but after a couple of months, I was looking at a growing balance that wasn't just sitting around. I was either earning dividend or knocking down my debt. And the thing you also have to understand is having a clear financial target makes it way much easier to say no to unnecessary stuff. If you know you want to build up a $1,000 emergency fund or finally invest into an index fund, it's very motivational to skip that random fast fashion splurge. Suddenly, your new form of purchase is adding shares into your investment portfolio, not just another sweater in your already overflowing closet. So a good tip to make things way easier is to try automating the entire process if you can. For me, one of the things I like doing is setting up an automatic transfer payment of $20 or $30 a week to my investment account because it takes away the whole idea of should I or should I not send the money? Yeah. Now, thrifting and minimalism just amplify that process. So every dollar I don't spend on brand new clothes slide straight into my investment account. And I remember this one time I found this sick looking coat at a local thrift store. Barely worn, top-notch quality, and it was only selling for $75. I knew a very similar coat would have hit me for about $150 brand new. So the minute I got home, I hopped online and invested the $75 difference into an S&P 500. A year later, that small investment has already grown to about 8%. Meanwhile, I was still wearing the exact same coat every winter. Still look good, plus it's one less garment ending up in a landfill. At the end of the day, if you want to fast track your financial goals, try this. Each time you save on clothes by thrifting, by skipping on sales, or by embracing minimalism, direct that money somewhere meaningful. Whether it's topping off your emergency fund or buying a few more shares of your favorite index fund. You'll be very amazed on how quickly that small amount can start to add up over time. Not only will your closet start to look better, but your bank account balance will do too. Number 2, sustainable and minimalist strategies. When I first heard the word sustainable fashion, I pictured an itchy sweater made from hemp and a wardrobe that looks pretty lame. But after some digging around, I realized it's actually more about quality over quantity. Picking clothes that last instead of buying stuff that falls apart after washing them just twice. And I remember a few years ago, my closet was flooded with designer clothes that I'd only wore once. And when I was done, shoved them into a corner. Now, I focus on items that can handle the long haul, which means fewer replacement and a lot less spending over time. And to give you guys an example, here's how I keep it sustainable and minimalist. Number 1, having a capsule wardrobe mindset. Think of your closet like a mini buffet. Everything should go with everything else. I like to keep a cohesive color palette. This means I'm never stuck feeling like I have nothing to wear. Each top go with multiple bottoms, and each jacket can be paired with different outfit. Fewer items, more combos, simple math. Number 2, the cost per wear trick. Just like investing in a solid ETF, buying a quality garment can feel more expensive up front, but it pays off in the long term. And I remember this. I once got a secondhand leather jacket for $80, and I've worn it close to about 60 times, and that's about $1.33 per wear. Meanwhile, the fast fashion blazer that I bought for like $30 was cooked after 3 wears, costing me $10 per wear. And guess what? I had to get rid of it. So now you tell me which one sounds like a better investment. Number 3, one in, one out rule. I wish I had this trick years ago. Every time I bring something into my closet, I pick at least one item to donate or sell. Not only does this keep the cluttering under control, but it also forces me to ask, is this piece good enough to replace something else that I own? If the answer is no, I drop it and I keep it pushing. Number 4, buy with purpose. Before I hit that add to cart button, I ask myself if I'm willing to skip a coffee run for a week or start putting money into my investment account for that one piece. If I hesitate, I skip it. It's a small mental check that saved me from so many regretful purchases, both online and in store. Lastly, number 5, longevity matters. When you find a garment that's built to last, you're not just helping your bank account, you're also sparing the planet from yet another item ended up in a landfill. Less waste, more money saved. So if you're worried that sustainable equal boring fashion sense, let me tell you this right now. It's all about picking pieces that reflect your style in the long run. Number 3, wardrobe declutter, close the sustainable loop. Alright, so you're saving money, focusing on quality over quantity, and rocking a more sustainable wardrobe. But what about all those clothes still lingering in your closet? You know, the one you never wear. Well, that's where decluttering comes in. A step that ties everything together and keep the sustainable cycle going. And I remember the first time I attempted a closet purge, I found clothes I'd completely forgotten about. Half of them still had on their tag. Clearly tells you how much money I was wasting on impulse buying. And the moment I realized I could actually sell or donate these pieces, I had a mini light bulb moment. Not only would I be able to reduce clutter, but I could also make a few $100s back or help someone else who really needs them. So here's the formula. Number 1, take out everything in your closet. That's right, guys. Empty the closet. Seeing the sheer value of what you own can be a little shocking, but guess what? It's the wake-up call that we all need. Number 2, sort ruthlessly. Create 3 piles. Keep, donate, sells, and recycle if it's beyond saving. And if it's something you haven't worn, let's say, in a year, it's probably belongs to the donate or sell pile. Number 3, one in, one out rules on steroid. This declutter session is a great time for you to embrace the one in, one out principle going forward. And make sure that your newfound closet space doesn't just vanish next time you spot a sale. And some financial bonus with that, if you decide to sell gently used pieces through like a thrift app or a consignment store, you can also funnel that cash directly into your investment account or use it to pay down debt. Think of it as finding money that was hiding in your closet. And another second bonus is a sustainable bonus. By donating or selling, you're extending the lifespan of the clothes and keeping them out of the landfill. It's like a handshake to the environment, less waste, more reuse, and a healthier planet for all of us. So if your closet is stuffed with garment you barely glance at, take the time, dedicate a weekend to a thorough declutter, and you'll be amazed at how much lighter you feel, both physically and mentally. Plus, each piece you donate or sell is one more step towards a more simpler and more intentional wardrobes that keeps you on track with your financial and your environmental goals. Number 4, investment versus expense mindset. So let's wrap this up by talking about something that ties everything together. Seeing your clothes as an investment rather than as an expense. Think about the same way you look at stocks, bonds. You're putting money into something that will hopefully yield you a return over time. But here, that return might be durability, style mileage, or a piece that retained its value if you decide to ever sell it later on. And I remember back when I was all about fast fashion, I never considered how quickly those cheap items can turn into waste money. Kind of like buying a sketchy penny stocks that will eventually tank the next day. But once I started seeing my closet through an investment lens, I realized that spending, let's say, $100 on a well-made timeless jacket could be a way better investment than dropping $20 on a trendy blazer that will lose shape after just wearing it twice. So at first, it feels like a bigger hit in my wallet, but if that jacket is still in rotation after a year or two, that cost per wear start looking really good, just like a stable paying dividend stocks in your portfolio. So here's a simple breakdown. High quality items cost more upfront, but last multiple seasons or even years. The cost per wear drop the longer you own it, kind of like an investment that's compounding. Whereas cheap and trendy items has lower initial costs, but often need replacing fast, like buying an expense that yields zero return. That bargain will eventually add up to a bigger bill. So how does that connect to your financial life? Well, if you're tossing less money at throwaway clothes, you've got more cash to drop into your brokerage account or that next real estate venture. You're basically freeing up capital you didn't realize you were squandering. And just like investing, making fewer smarter buys can do a lot more for your long-term prosperity than a bunch of random purchases that don't hold any value. So the bottom line is this: when you treat each close like part of a long-term strategy rather than a quick fix or a casual expense, you start seeing tangible financial gains. It's a mindset shift that doesn't just trim your closing costs. It can also supercharge your investment gain because every dollar you don't waste on clothes that disintegrate by season is a dollar you can invest in yourself and, yes, even a more sustainable planet. So thank you guys for watching. If you gain any value, don't forget to like, subscribe, and push the notification bell for more on sustainable fashion and personal finance. And I'll see you guys on my next video.